Okay, so we're going to do a comparison of the Apple Smart Folio and a case from a company called ProCase and see what the differences are, which case you might prefer to have. So let's take a look at the Apple Smart Folio case first. I'll call it a case. It's a front and back cover that wraps around the iPad. It uses magnets at the top and the bottom to mount it in place. This one's for the iPad Air 4 because of the notch for the camera here. If you have it for the Pro 11, it's kind of like a square. So it is the usual trifold design. Feels really thin. So let's compare that to the ProCase. So have a look at the ProCase. Now this does feel thicker, and this doesn't feel like when you're folding it up, it feels like it's trying to resist being put into that position. The back is plastic, thick-ish, and the iPad clips into it through the corners here, and it's got cutouts for, say, the power, the Touch ID button, which needs to be specifically for the iPad Air 4. The Pro 11 does Face ID, and obviously the notch for the camera, and then it's got a hole all the way down the side if you wanted to mount an Apple Pencil on the side of the iPad there. So very different in design. Obviously that's not using magnets to keep it in place. It clips into the corners, and it's relatively easy to get in and out. Not quite as easy as it is with the magnets on the back. So price wise, big difference. So you're looking at £80 for the Smart Folio, and for the ProCase you can get it on a deal for about £12, maybe up to about 14 or 15 depending on when you get it. Just keep an eye on the price. Use an extension for Chrome like Camel, which will show you the price history and let you set up alerts. Similar for the Smart Folio case, keep an eye on the prices. You can get it with about £10 off. I got this one for 70 on a deal. Weight wise, you're looking at 180 grams for the Smart Folio, 240 for the ProCase. Other brands, I've only found them as low as 240 grams, but they can go up to, say, about 280, which is pretty heavy. Let's look at the thickness of the front of the case. So I did kind of feel that it was thicker, but let's see how much. So the Smart Folio, 1.8 mils, and ProCase, 2.1. So there is a difference there, and I could feel that when I lifted it up, and it does try to resist going into that trifold design. The magnet strength on both of them when they go into stand mode isn't the best. This is less than I had on the original smart cover for the Air 2, and just putting a bit of pressure on there pops that open. If we compare that to ProCase, put it into stand. Now that had trouble there just locking in, but similar issues with the strength of the magnet. Even actually just getting it into that mode is a bit more tricky. It doesn't feel like it wants to. So that's something to just be aware of and be careful with when you're putting it into a stand mode. So let me know in the comments which you would prefer. I think the price on the Smart Folio is hard to stomach, but it is a thinner and lighter case. It doesn't add as much heft to the iPad Air 4, but it still feels all heavier than the Air 2 with just the smart cover on it. This one adds a fair amount, but it does give you corner protection, which the Smart Folio doesn't. So if you do drop it on a corner, then you may be all right. So, which do you prefer?